Hey everybody, this is Jari. We are in Taco Tuesday Topics with the main host, Victoria. And our new host, co-host. You got it. Co-host, Natasha, right? Mm-hmm. So we're so happy to be here one more Tuesday with you guys. We're excited to share what we have with all of you today. We just want Natasha to say a little bit about herself so you guys can get to know her a little bit before we continue.
I'm Natasha. I am a mom of 3. I am 30 years old. I'm actually officially, I moved here back in November, but I am from New York. Up north! I'm from Boston.
From New York here.
But yeah, I'm just happy to be here.
That's amazing. Thank you for being here. We know that you're going to be a blessing to whoever may be watching. Yes. And we hope that it's not the last time you're here. So,
yes, for sure.
Let's start with the question.
Yeah, let's go ahead and dive right in.
Because this is what we came here for, right?
That's right.
To ask questions, to talk a little bit about mom. So you know. The first question. When was the moment you realized you had been neglecting yourself?
What's the first?
Oh, boy. When was the moment you realized you have been neglecting yourself?
Go ahead, Natasha. Oh, me? Dang. Probably when it hit like 2 weeks and I hadn't showered. Wow. Yeah, because I was just going and going. My daughter was in gymnastics. My son was in karate at the time. I had the new baby. So I was like, dang. Stink a little bit.
I mean, you want to talk about real.
For real. That shit, yeah, it was bad.
What about you, Victoria?
And we abandoned ourselves because we poured everything we got that we had nothing left.
Agree. Agree so much. To add to what Victoria and Natasha said, I think sometimes I think it comes to a point where we really don't realize we're neglecting ourselves because we're going through so much until we finally see ourselves, like when we actually take our time to look at ourselves in the mirror, we go, what is wrong with me? Like, what is going on? Like, when did you get like this? Like, how? When did this happen?
You never know. Like, you're like, oh my god.
That is true.
Like, wait, what happened to me? I never looked like this. I mean, what's going on? So I think that's the point where you like have to like sit down, take a break, say, what did I do? What happened? I mean, obviously moms, tend to be a little overwhelmed more than normal with our kids. Mm-hmm. But we still have to remember we have to take time for ourselves, because if we don't, we're just gonna burn out, like Victoria said. We're not gonna want to do anything, and if we get to that point, unfortunately, our children are the ones that are going to be affected. And if our children have burnout moms and cranky moms, they're not going to be okay. So we have to always have that, to balance that time to, have that me moment.
Yeah.
Take the time to take showers, long showers, double baths.
Yeah. I need to take long showers now.
Some salt, some butter. Guess what? We have to.
Yes.
Make time for
and
that.
they have some really good bath bombs out there.
They really do.
Yes. And don't judge us for not taking showers, okay? I'm pretty sure
they probably already had it. You've been through it.
Yeah, you've been through it. Especially if you got some kids, you've been through it.
All right, so let's go on to the next question. I think this is kind of relatable to the one we just did. So, where do you draw the line between self-care and selfishness?
Self-care and selfishness?
Yes. I mean, like, do you think society gets distinction wrong?
Yeah, 100%.
Really?
I think that's the biggest issue with us being moms. Like, from me having 3 kids, if I say, I want to go out and get like Wendy's on the side or something, and my kids already got their like food, people will be like, oh, you're selfish. Why didn't you get them food too?
Agreed.
You know what I mean? And like that'd be just like, hey, I can't just get like a little something like on the side. They already ate.
Yeah.
You know, they had good food. That's my good food.
Yeah.
So I think it definitely, because definitely people will think that you're selfish in that sense. It does get a little.
But have you come to the point where you felt guilty?
Always.
Really? Yeah. And you still go with the Wendy's?
No, I get it. You're wrong, because I low-key be getting them on the side. Because if they see it, well, I try to eat it with they not seeing it, but I know myself, so I always low-key get them something. But they'll go, like, so I had it when my kids were at home, I went to Wendy's. And they're like, oh, you're not going to get anything for your kids? It made me feel guilty. But I was already guilty, and I already planned on getting them something.
Okay.
But, like, I feel like it shouldn't be like that.
That's true.
You know, like, we should just be able to go and get something without it being like, okay, kids have to have it too. Always, like, you know what I mean?
But you know what? And honestly, I mean, I'm sure that many mothers can relate out there. I've learned recently, because I have such a different age gap with my kids. I have a 14-year-old and I have a 4-year-old. And so I've had a lot of experience with my 14-year-old. And honestly, when you know that you're a good mom and you know that you've done everything you can to raise your kid in a good home, not perfect, because obviously nobody is. But when you know, you have to be so secure in yourself as a mom to know that you've done a good job, that you can go enjoy yourself at Wendy's and not think, you know what, no. And it's okay, I'm gonna enjoy my Wendy's and I'm gonna add one of those little flurries. And I'm gonna enjoy a little something, a dessert, without feeling guilty. So honestly, I'm guilt-free now because I know the type of mom that I've been to my kids. You know, so I feel like if you're feeling guilty, then reevaluate yourself and see, okay, why am I feeling guilty as a mom to do something for myself when I know that I've done everything for my kids that I could. So it's really about self-reflection, looking at yourself and saying, hey, what kind of mom have I been? I've done this, I've done that, wow, I've done this. Man, I've earned myself.
Yeah, see, I need to do that because I feel guilty regardless.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, dang. And I know I'm a good mom, but it's still just like,
I mean, it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. So you're 30 years old, you shared, right?
Yeah.
I'm 37. So I got a few
And
years.
you have a 14-year-old. My oldest is 8.
You see what I'm saying?
Still getting
You know, you can get in there. And it comes with experience, and it comes with, honestly, it really comes with looking at yourself in the mirror and really being like, and not even in the mirror, when your kids are running around and you're just like, Lord, kids. Yes. But you look at, wow, they're running around.
They're being
Kids. They're being kids. Wow, like, look at them. You know, and for me that gives me a ticket to just be like, I deserve it, you know. And I think for moms out there that feel guilty, I mean, I have a 14-year-old, but I've had a lot of practice, and now I feel like it's okay. And honestly, every time we go, so my oldest loves Dollar Tree because he says, he's like, Dollar Tree has the best snacks. So I think my kids too really watch out. So every time we go to Dollar Tree, he's like, Mom, can I get more than one snack? I'm like, oh my God. So a lot of times, yes, I do spoil my kids, but purposely, there's moments that I go and he asks me and I'm like, no, today you cannot have anything. Today is about buying whatever it is that we went to go buy. Today, you've had enough snacks to go, and it's all right. And you know what? My oldest, he's like, you know what, Mom? Okay, I just asked, and if you say no, then it's no. You know what I mean? And usually, his response will change my mind because I see the maturity in him. So if he responded that way, I'm like, man, how can I say no to the response? Go ahead and get yourself a snack. But if he would have been like a spoiled brat, no, I want this. Oh, definitely proving my point. So again, everything is really about reflecting and really having that intuition as a mom. You know?
And I've definitely been through that where my daughter, we went to So up in New York, it's called Ollie's. It's like,
Oh, we have a Ollie's here.
you have an Ollie's?
Yes, we do.
Stop it.
Yes.
I didn't know. I had no idea.
Wait, how?
Sorry.
Oh my god, it's great.
It's a
It's great.
store. It's like they sell a lot.
They sell a lot of stuff. It's a lot of cheap stuff too.
Yes,
Well,
and a lot of antiques too.
Yeah, I love
like
it.
old stuff that you
I
know.
love it.
I never realized there.
Oh yeah, love it. So
So I
anyway,
a trip up there.
my daughter didn't get something, and she threw a fit on the ground. When I tell you, that was the first time, because I'm normally the mom, like, oh, all right, it's fine. But this time I was like, sucks to suck. I don't know what to tell you. I understand that you're mad, but like, you think acting like this, you're gonna get it?
Right.
No, when the police officer was there, when I tell you, when the police officer looked, they made eye contact, changed her whole mood. Whole mood. I swear to you, she has not thrown a fit since. I kid you not. I kid you not. So,
Yeah.
it'd be like that.
They know who to get attention with.
Yeah.
That part.
That is so
Children
true.
always like that. They can be having a fit on the floor, and once they see someone that they know,
Authority. It's like we're not enough authority for them.
Yeah.
That's funny.
all right. So, for the moms watching, so this is for all the moms watching.
Yes.
For the moms watching who feel guilty for choosing themselves before their children, and I'm not saying this like in a bad way, right? Because just because we choose ourselves sometimes doesn't mean we're doing the wrong thing.
Right.
What would you want her to know? Moms that are watching that feel guilty for choosing themselves, what would you tell them to make them know and realize that it doesn't have to be that way?
So it's kind of like what I said earlier, really sit back and acknowledge the kind of mom that you've been. And if you've been a good mom and you can see the fruits of your labor, I think it's okay to celebrate that. And actually, it's healthy for your kids to see you loving on yourself, for your kids to see, wow, my mom she's doing something for her. Because believe it or not, kids are aware. Kids, they're not paying, they don't listen to what we say. They're listening to what we do, to our actions. I can sit here and tell my kid a million times, don't do this, but if I'm doing it, they're gonna do what I'm doing. They're not gonna do what I'm telling them not to do. So I'm gonna keep going back to say, self-evaluate yourself as a mom. And if you've been a great mom, celebrate that. And it's okay, because at least for me, my kids have so much more than what I've had growing up. And I made sure, because whatever I lacked or what my parents lacked, not because they were bad parents, right? Because every generation is different, So I take the good and I learn from it, and whatever my parents couldn't do, then I'm like, okay, if I can do it, now I'm able to. One example, it may be a little cheesy, living here in Florida, we're from Boston, they don't have a lot of theme parks as much as they have them here. All we have up there is Six Flags.
It's still open?
I don't even know.
Didn't it just close?
I don't know.
They did.
One of them just
Did it
closed. One of them.
Really?
Yeah, they closed one of them.
Oh man, well I haven't been to Six Flags in a while, but that's what we used to have up there.
I don't know.
But here there's so many options and so much things, and I didn't really get to have so much of a fun childhood because most of my childhood was very religious, faith-based, which I'm appreciative of. But there was never really much of that balance of you can have God and enjoy the life that God gave us.
Right.
So now I'm like, we're gonna get annual passes, we're gonna do this. So the things I didn't get to do, I do it with them. I become a kid with them. I get on rides with them because I couldn't do much of that as a kid. So whatever it looks like for you to enjoy yourself, do it, because your kids are gonna, when they see a happy mom, they feel good about themselves. And the thing is too, is that kids, they can feel what we go through. And it's at least my oldest, he's always trying to find ways when I'm at my lowest. Mom, what can I do? What? You want to watch a movie? Let's have a movie night. Mom, let's go to Dollar Tree and buy you a cake and snacks. I mean, any reason to go to Dollar Tree. But you know, but it's kind of his heart. Mom, let's watch a movie. I love movies. Okay, I can sit and watch movies. So, like, you know, when I look at my oldest and he does those moments when I'm low, that's when I'm like, I did a good job. I deserve this. So just look at the facts and how you've been as a mom.
Agree. Thank you for that. Blessed.
Yeah, literally.
Sometimes we don't even, you know, sometimes we go through so much that we don't realize the effort sometimes that we put to make our children feel happy, safe, all the good things. And even when we're feeling the worst, sometimes it takes a lot to even if we feel whatever way we may feel, make them feel, because it's not their fault, whatever we go through.
Right.
You know, sometimes we make choices that unfortunately they're not going to benefit them in some way, but at the end of the day, we don't have to throw it all on them.
Well, Natasha, thank you for being here with
Yeah,
us.
excited to be here.
And thank you guys for listening. And don't forget, next week, Taco Tuesday topics. That's such a tongue twister. Taco Tuesday topics.
I love it.
Taco Tuesday topics.
She hasn't been.
You know what? She hasn't done the challenge.
The what?
Surprise! Surprise! All right, so we're gonna end today. We're trying to say Taco Tuesday topics really, really, really fast. Without messing up.
Oh, I'm gonna mess up.
Can I join?
Try it. Of course. Nehemiah wants to join us. Yes. Come on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you're gonna have to sit. You're too tall. You're gonna have to sit.
I got the camera.
Don't block us.
Yeah.
I'll just sit like this.
All right. Come here next to your mama. All right. So you want to do Taco Tuesday topics? You gotta do it as
Yeah,
fast.
Taco Tuesday topics. Taco Tuesday topics.
No, you gotta go really fast.
Taco Tuesday I can't try. Taco Tuesday, I'm trying.
Okay. Let's try. Do it slow first, okay?
Taco Tuesday topics. Now Taco Tuesday topics. Try to say it fast. Taco Tuesday topics. I'm not saying it. Taco Tuesday topics. That's fast enough to say it.
All right, Natasha, your turn.
I don't even Taco Tuesday topics.
Yep.
You can say
Taco
it
Tuesday
fast.
topics. I can't say the topic, the T.
I know, that's the point.
I'm still messing up.
Taco Tuesday topics. Taco Tuesday
As he
topics.
go.
All right, your turn.
Taco Tuesday.
As he go, we recording.
Taco Tuesday topic. Taco Tuesday topic.
All right, you know what? We're gonna end it with everybody saying Taco
Let's say-
Tuesday topics.
All right.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Taco Tuesday